Okay, the previous video ran out at the last second. I think I was pretty close to this point right here. I was trying to create the graph. We just had a minute or two left. So here's the rest of the problem. I think at this point I was just getting ready to graph the horizontal asymptote at y equals 1. And then what I did here is, because I had these 2 points here for my intercepts, it seemed pretty obvious that the line had to go through those 2 points. And because these asymptotes, it looks like this. And if I check it, this should be an increasing region. If I look at my increasing region, from -1 to infinity, it should increase, which it is. And if I check concavity, this is concave down. And concave down is from -1 to infinity, so that all matches up. What happens over here? Well, first of all, I know it's increasing my graph. I don't know if it's up here or down here, and if you're not sure sometimes, you could just plug in x equals -2 into the original function and graph a point. But it makes sense to me that if my graph is increasing, if it's increasing like this, I know I can't cross this asymptote, so I don't think it's going to be down here. Maybe it's going to be up in here. So maybe if it looks like something like this. Because if I check now, increasing from -infinity to -1, that's true. And it says concave up from -infinity to -1, which it is. So everything checks out. All right, so those are a couple of examples of where you're given some kind of an equation or a function, and you take a deep dive and you figure out really everything you can, including first derivative, second derivative, and all the stuff it tells you. And once you have all this information, then you try and make a sketch of the graph. It can be a little tricky at first. There's a lot of stuff involved, but the more you do it, the better you should get. And one point to note, when you're trying to actually get to sketch the graph, if you're not sure, you can always just choose some points for x, plug it into your original function, and go plot those points just to be sure your graph is correct.